You can support this show at patreon.com/ASAPodcasting. Welcome to a Skyrim Addict podcast, where I will discuss my adventures and misadventures through Skyrim. Join me. Add your stories, add your tales. Let's get into this thing. And welcome back to Skyrim Addict podcast. I don't know, like 180. I'm here with Victor.
Hey.
And Ray.
Everybody?
Yep. And Ray.
Howdy, howdy.
And Colin.
Evening, guys.
And returning Juan.
Good afternoon, huh?
And Drew, maybe? Andrew, Drew? I don't. Which do you go by? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm here. I just don't know what I'm doing with this app yet, to be honest with you.
It's pretty simple. So main reason we're recording today is next Saturday is going to be the yearly charity event we do. The 12-hour stream. This year we're doing it. We've adjusted the hours. We're doing 12 noon Eastern Standard Time until midnight Sunday morning Eastern Standard Time. So that's on November 14th. I believe the schedule runs something like the first hour is our general hour. Second hour, I'm going to steal for Will Run For podcast. We have a little challenge going for every $10 we raise. We're going to run a mile on a weekend, so up to 78 miles each person. So there's
nice.
that.
Is that going to be in one day or
over 3 days? So we made it 78 because it's 3 straight marathons if we do it. So if we get to 1,000, I think it's like $1,000 or something. But and then the next couple hours are Skyrim Addict, then Skyrim 10 AD, then I believe it's Dames Who Game. And then finishing out with the Fallout feed with Andrew's.
Which means it might go until 1, 2 o'clock.
I mean, it could go until next Saturday. I mean, who knows? We may be ending on the 21st. We don't know. We have no clue when that'll end. But yeah, Fallout feed closing everything out on Saturday evening with a little party there. And that's what we got going on next week. But I don't think we have any heavy modding this week, but I did hop into the mod that Michelle mentioned the last time we recorded, Marisi, which is a kind of a Khajiit follower. It was, I will say, I enjoyed it way more than Rigmore. It was way less involved. Like, you didn't have to hit like X mark, hit this mark, hit this mark, hit this mark to keep it going. You could kind of just keep going with the story, and it involved the Thalmor, so you get a little bit of, battling the Thalmor, going up to their place up north, up by Solitude, and all that works into it. I enjoyed it quite a bit. She's a pretty good follower, strong. I think we're getting a saber cat currently because we just we purposely killed the saber cat's mother, and it's a cub or a kitten, I guess.
Oh, cool.
And so now we're raising it. I have to gather some food for it, but it's a enjoyable little mod. I liked it a lot, and way less frustrating than the experience we had going through Rigmore, I will say.
I think in my experience, Rigmore is unique that way. I don't think I've ever played another mod that is so devilishly insistent on hitting all those marks and having everything placed where it needs to be placed. So.
Yeah, I think it's so ambitious is what it is, that it needs everything to be exactly right, or it kind of goes off the rails. Whereas the Marisi's a little more basic. It doesn't get into, messing around with too many different things. You're not getting into too many other quests or anything. So it's not too bad. But I had a question from Kami, who's in the Patreon and also at emailed and stuff, about they're using they find using Requiem is like the only way they can play now. And I know that I know Dave uses Requiem all the time. McBeta, Blackstone Chronicles, all that. He's a big Requiem person. I didn't know if anybody else had used it. I remember it being mentioned in the past. I didn't know how extensively anybody else used it.
I have.
Yeah, I've played through good chunk of the main quest, I think, with it.
Mm.
I don't think I'll get all the way through main quest because you basically start off as like, you know, the weakest thing. You can barely take a wolf. You couldn't take 2 bandits on your own or anything like that without some like, you know, practice and training and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, well, the whole point of Requiem being that it is, well, one of the points anyway, is that it's an unleveled world. So you don't enter a say Ember Shard Mine, and Ember Shard Mine doesn't automatically level itself to you plus 6 points. I think it's where it does. It's like it's your level plus 6 or something like that. Anyway, whatever the formula is, it's leveled much higher. So you're going to run into, you know, people who will essentially, you know, click you with their little fingers and you'll die in one hit. And that's part of the point of Requiem.
Yeah, you're not gradually building up to enemies. You're just being thrown in randomly to whatever it may be.
So it's kind of fun if you you know, buy into that and play it that way. I don't know about only being able to play with Requiem. I don't know. I find that's kind of, I mean, it's just a game. So you can play it any way you want. But it's fun to play that way occasionally. I mean, there's Ultimate Skyrim, which is I forget the guy's name. It's been around for a Belmont boy. He used to call himself, but he's calling himself by his real name now on YouTube. That whole Ultimate Skyrim thing is built around Requiem.
Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I don't think I've ever messed around with Requiem at all.
That's worth playing with. It makes the world totally different.
Yeah, it's like a whole different experience because you don't know what you're wandering into, basically, instead of kind of having an understanding that if I hit this place at X level, I know I'm able to get through it, or if I, you know, especially with knowledge of the game and all that, you know.
Yeah, well, you can be sure that until you're in the level 20s or so, you're going to wander into places where you just don't want to wander in there.
Yeah, that's
come back later. So yeah,
that's a good point.
Personally, I think it's sort of even though Requiem does a lot more than just that, that sort of thing kind of encourages grinding, and I don't like grinding, so but I don't know.
I never would have guessed Victor wouldn't be into grinding. Considering most of your tunes don't go past 30, right?
That's right. Yeah. If they're lucky.
That's a good point. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I was getting ready. Actually, I was kind of working on setting up the Bruma on the Xbox One. And I think I might, because I wanted to try it and see if I could take Marisi to Bruma and just keep going with that character. But if not, I'll just I'll start fresh and actually go into Bruma fresh from the start, I think. And
I'm glad to hear she's fun, because I'd like to try her out. Yeah,
it's a solid. It's got an interesting story. There's a pretty long book to read at the end, which gives you much more of the story, obviously. But yeah, it's pretty good. You know, the Thalmor are always a good battle. You know, it's not just like hordes of them running at you either. It's a little, a little more manageable instead of just like, oh, here we'll throw 35 enemies at you just to make this tough. It's a little more thought out and who's battling you and stuff.
Yeah. So, Colin, what were your thoughts about Requiem? Did you enjoy the play?
I did. It took me a while to get into. I think I started it and then stopped playing it because it annoyed me.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
What was it? It was you couldn't wear heavy armor and cast spells. That's what annoyed me.
Yeah.
So I think I gave up on it, and then I restarted later, and then I think it was like, I had a week off or something, and then I played it, and then I really enjoyed it. I think I went through the mages, what do you call it? The Mages College, and went through that quest line, and I've forgotten what the name of it was. The one where you get the Ethereum Forge.
Oh, Oh,
Lost to the Ages.
Lost to the
Lost
Ages.
the-
Yeah, Lost to the Ages. Yeah.
Yeah. So I played through that, and it's completely different because you can get yourself a full set of Ethereum armor, as well as the shield and the crown and everything like that. And it was big and bulky and looked like something from Titanfall or something like that when you ended up wearing it. So it was. Was it also? I ran into the guy in Markarth who was, he's asking about the house. It's the Molag Bal.
Oh yeah.
Daedric quest. And he, instead of being in his usual armor, I think it's robes because he's a Stendar guy.
Yeah, he's a vigilant. Yeah.
A vigilant Stendar. But instead of all that, because he's like a high-ranking vigilant Stendar, they had him in legendary steel plate armor. But it had been redesigned, so it had a mirror shine. So when I walked up to it, you could see the reflection of your character in his armor.
Nice.
The only problem is he was level 90 or something like that.
Oh God!
In the quest, it traps you inside the house with him, and he tries to kill you. So that was just a nightmare. I was I must have been in there for 9 hours trying to kill this. I just couldn't do it because he had this as I say, legendary armor on, and it was all brilliantly shiny and everything like that, and I just couldn't get him down. So I just had to give up on that.
I think I remember when you did that playthrough, actually, because I think I remember that issue where in Markarth with the Molag Bal house. Yeah. I think I remember hearing about that.
Yeah, but I did enjoy going through because there was special enemies that you had when you were going to get the Ethereum. So there was named dwarven centurions, and there was a giant dwarven sphere. It was a dwarven sphere, but it was the size of a centurion.
Wow. Cool, nice.
They had to fight, but they all had their specific weaknesses, and dwarven machinery or automatons had a weakness to shock. Mm-hmm. And somehow I'd gotten my hand on a staff of Thunderbolts. I think it's because I finished the Mages Guild College quest and found one of the staffs. Oh, that's it. I found a staff of Storm Atronach inside the Archmage's quarters, and that's what it is. I just kept on summoning that at all the enemies, and he done it down. While I just stand back and hid.
Nice.
Yeah, I always felt it was a well designed mod. One of my problems with it is that I don't know if it's still the case because I haven't played it in a long time, and I know it's been, I don't know what version it's in now, or if it's even been worked on for the last year or two. But it requires a patcher. You got to run a patcher, and I got so tired of patchers. Around the time I played Requiem, I was also playing with Perma, Percus Maximus, and I just said fuck you to all the patchers. I don't want to run patchers. I don't even do. There's a couple of even really cool ones that out there now that for specific things. I don't even use mods that require those. It's just too much of a pain in the ass.
There is the thing I like about Requiem because it changes the entire world. As I said, I like really big overhauls that do a lot. Like I said with Bruma, when you go over there, they have new ingredients, they have new food, new buildings, new creatures, wolves, and everything gets changed. So as this figure was saying earlier, it's great because it completely changes the world, so it makes it feel new again.
Yeah.
And Requiem definitely does that.
Oh yeah, big time. Everything has weight. I forget.
Gold has weight. Yeah,
you're healing. You don't heal. Wait, I forget. You don't heal. Potions don't heal you over time, or what?
No, they don't heal you straight away. They heal you over time. Yeah.
Over time, right? Okay, yeah. It's and it's a fairly long time if I remember as well. Lots of things are that are changed. So you really have to plan. It really makes you think. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I like being able to dive into different. Every once in a while, I go into the survival ones, but because they're a lot slower and you play a lot different, so I like going into those every so often. It's
Yeah, I was going to just before we move on to other things as well. I'm not trying to stop that conversation.
Oh, no.
But before I forget, I said I was going to when we were chatting the other day. I was going to do something with a new set of mods, but I haven't yet, of course. But this mod author Simon Magus, who or Magnus, he's the one who did Adamant. He's got a whole sort of thing of mods similar to Enai Cheyenne. With the Guardian Stones and Magic, and he's got an Encounter Zones mod, which is kind of
really?
cool. Yeah, it's an add-on to his combat mod. So I want to put together a build with all of those as opposed to and sort of compare it to Enai's stuff. It looks pretty cool. So
yeah, actually, Connor started playing again, and he's been playing with Summer Mist and Thunderchild and
cool.
the whole array of those. What is it? The Magic one begins with an A. Apocalypse. Yeah, couldn't think of the name of it.
Yeah,
an Ordinator and all that. So he's been doing a playthrough like that. I think it's his first modded playthrough. So
nice.
Yeah, he's diving in. I think they happened to be randomly on the Xbox he started on, and he started a character that randomly happened to be modded that he wasn't really planning for. So, just kind of happens. Yeah. So he just rolled with it, and that was it. I think it was on my old Xbox One, the original one I had bought, actually, which is still going. So there's that. I did not trade it in or anything. I'm going to try. So I was bouncing around. I was going to try some other follower mods and stuff since I was in that groove. I'm liking the quick leveling and using the quick leveling mod and just starting at 0 and kind of going through their stories pretty clean. And just I feel like I get to see it a little bit more. And then like with this one, I'm trying to see how it interacts with the rest of the quests now that I've kind of gotten through most of, I think, what is the whole story of the Marisi one anyway. What was there was the other one? Was it Sophia? I didn't try that one yet.
Sophia was the one that Colin liked but hated.
Yes. Yeah, that was one I was going to do next, actually, Sophia. And then I've never done an Ego either, so I was going to try that one.
I've never taken Inigo all the way through his story. I've had him as a follower a couple of times, but
yeah, I might start a character and just run with an Ego from jump, do an alt start somewhere and see what happens. I seem to fall into just being a mage when I do these now, like with the the cheating doubling leveling mod. I'm just like, I'll just start out as a mage and like whatever, I'm only gonna play it for like 10 levels anyway or 15 levels anyway, so I'm not like getting crazy perks, but I want to at least enjoy what I'm playing for the 50.
I swear I have to honor Ray's huge personal effort and try to finish Rigboards.
Oh my god. Good luck to you.
I will do this.
Good luck. Good luck in the what was it, the foundry or whatever it was, the boiler.
Yeah,
with this,
I may rage quit before that, but
the one with the gears. Is that the boiler room or found whatever the hell it was? And then
that was that was
Wheels of Lull, right, or something like that.
Wheels of Lull.
No, that's right. Which one was Rigmore?
It was where we got stuck before going to Oblivion.
That's right. Where I didn't have the thing I needed, and you couldn't get the gate open, and I got into Oblivion without opening the gate, and then had nothing to do or nothing to break the thing with. That's right. Wheels of Lull. We had quit as well. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
We had a bad record that month. That was a rough month of mods.
Yeah. Well, and I played with Bruma before, so I know you guys aren't setting me up on that one. I'm still completely convinced that you guys, Wheels of Lull.
Oh my god, that was so hard at the end though. Oh.
Yeah.
Climbing on those stupid branches and all, and I was like, that's where I was done. That's where I was like, I am out. I just can't keep going with this. This is so frustrating.
The way to go do really difficult parkour in a game that doesn't do parkour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where at any moment you could just step on an area that is missing and fall through, even though it looks like it's there.
Where you can't take running jumps because you fall like a lead balloon.
You just fall off an edge. Yeah, basically.
Yeah. I still do that after all these many hours of play. I still occasionally forget and just try to run off the edges.
Yeah, there is no run and jump, that's for sure.
Not even with better jumping, which is nice to have.
Yeah, there's a nice spell, master level spell in Apocalypse called Wind Walking. And what you do is that you cast a spell, and then when you sprint, you run straight forward. So it's kind of like TCL, like toggle collision. So you just go straight forward, and it also negates all fall damage. So if you're on the top of the mountain and you sprint off it, you just sprint straight out across it, and then you get to like above where you want to go, and then you just stop sprinting, and then you just fall all the way down, and then you land, but there's no fall damage.
Oh, nice.
You got to be careful that the spell doesn't end before you. When that happens, it kind of sucks.
Kind of like become ethereal, jump off a mountain, and hope it lasts until the bottom.
Yeah, it's exactly the same as that.
Fingers crossed.
One of my characters is halfway through Great Call Nocturnal. I actually ran into a bug in there. I don't know how many of you guys have played that one.
Oh, I've played that one. Yeah.
Yeah, there's the invisible walkway.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I could not make it.
No?
You have to use clairvoyance to find it.
Yeah.
That's the big clue, It just wouldn't work. I cast it standing on my head. I tried everything. So finally, Colin reminded me. I just said, fuck this. And I did TCL and just walked across.
Oh, my God.
It's a pretty good mod. I'm enjoying it.
I did enjoy that as well. I played that. I think I played it earlier in the year. I don't think it was that long ago. I remember playing it, and I enjoyed it quite a bit, actually.
Yeah. Then I got suckered into Fallout 4 again.
Suckered into Fallout 4 again.
Yeah. Well, and then in classic style. So I keep seeing you popping up in Fallout 4. And some other people are playing it. I thought I should get back into it. We're planning another trip to Fallout 4 in the round table.
Oh, nice.
I haven't done Frost before. I should try Frost. I finally gave up about halfway through level 1.
Oh my God!
Finally.
Have you? Many a True Nerd is doing a permadeath Frost run right now, and it's fun. It's fun to watch. He's a funny guy.
Yeah. It's challenging.
Yes, it is.
Oh my God!
I didn't even get that far with Frost. I did try. What's the other one?
You've gone really quiet, Victim.
Dust, or is it Dust?
No, Dust is for New Vegas.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
It's the same people though, same auto. Is that better, Colin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I was muttering anyway.
Or summoning something.
Yeah, on the side. Yeah, just on the side.
Oh, hang on, I'll get my summoning hat. I'll be right back.
Oh my God, I can only imagine. Oh God,
I can't wait to see some of these games on the Series X.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what kind of upgrades they throw at them. Yeah, when they do. Oh my God, it's Gandalf.
Thou shalt not pass gas.
That's what I said to somebody the other day. Yeah, I was walking across a bridge and some guy told me I couldn't pass, so I kicked his ass and stole his hat.
Oh man.
I said that to some woman who complimented my hat this morning, and she looked at me like, "Huh?" Never mind, forget it.
Yeah. Oh man.
You mean not everybody knows about Lord of the Rings?
You would think it would be general knowledge at this point, but
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So Juan, you've been playing ESO, I assume?
A little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah, I actually joined a progression team that does trials every Saturday, so that's
Cool.
means I actually have to put in some work. And the guild that I'm in, one of the guys, Andrew, Drew, he wants to kind of do a little podcast where he does a lot of teaching and actually helping a lot of people that are starting out so that they don't have to go through a lot of the struggles that we went through in the beginning.
Yeah, I feel like it's probably way different now, right?
Oh yeah, it's changed a lot, man. It's, we've been talking about it for a while, and I actually have just had a lot going on, so it's been kind of going at a crawl.
Yeah, because I feel like with that game, because of the changes it's made over time, like there's probably not a lot of chatter about how to get in and start.
Well, yeah, a lot of people, like my goal is to basically to help the community and cut down the learning curve, because I mean, it takes a year just to get to max level, if you're just doing a regular grind, and that's not even actually learning the game, and there's just so many people that have no idea. And then the people they do learn from are usually given the wrong information. So, it's a big problem in my opinion.
Yeah, because you don't want to spend a lot of time grinding to nowhere.
Exactly. That's what they grind up their character, and half the time they don't even know what their character does though. They don't even like what they're doing, and then they hit like a wet noodle once they get up there, and and like I said, a lot of them have a lot of bad experiences with guilds, so they'd rather just play alone, and
yeah.
I mean, I get that, we've all had those issues before if you've ever played online.
Yeah, it makes just all the more difficult. Some people they think that once they hit level 50, they're good to go, and then there's a whole other system called champ points where they're just like, hey, what's going on? I thought I maxed out.
Yeah, so, I vaguely know of it from hearing podcasts, but since I have not played, other than maybe a couple hours, I'm like, it's basically, other than knowing the basics of the universe.
The game changes so much based off of where you're at too in the game, and there's so many different avenues that you can take. Like what I tell people, is like, you don't have to do in-game content. That's what I enjoy, but you don't have to do that to enjoy the game. Like there's people who literally play just for the housing aspect, or some people literally play the game just to make gold. That's all they do. Like I've seen it all. I've played it since day one, like hardcore, and it's a great game, but it definitely has its struggles, and it's hard to get into it. Like you definitely have to grind, so it's a lot of work, but like I said, it's a lot of fun, and the community is pretty cool once you get in with a good guild.
Yeah, I think that makes all the difference, is being in a good guild, being with guys that are willing to help you out and willing to even talk with you and stuff. Because there's some people out there, and they say, oh, you want to first thing you want to do is hit level 50, and then you hit level 50. Okay, now you got to hit level 160. Oh, okay, now you got to hit level 300. Now you got to do 600. Now you got to be 810. and they're spending the whole time just trying to build up all these levels, and they're not learning anything. As opposed to like some guilds where they'll sit there and they'll take somebody who's not even in the champ points, and they'll take them through dungeons and just say, okay, these are the mechanics, and it's and you take them through simple dungeons and teach them how to actually play, and then they can decide, oh, you know what, I don't really like this style of play. Maybe I want to be a tank, maybe I want to be a healer, maybe I want to be a DPS, maybe I want to be maybe I don't even want to do this stuff right here. Maybe I just want to just go out in the world and just farm for stuff and sell it. Or some people that are just like, wow, these houses are pretty nice and I can do whatever I want. I can make all these things and make them into shapes. We had one member that she wanted to make the worm from Alice in Wonderland, and they took pumpkins and all these different.
Oh
things.
yeah.
Yeah. they made the worm from Alice in Wonderland, and there's just so much that you can do nowadays.
That was actually me and Faulted that did that, actually.
Yep.
You know, I was like, hold on, I got a bunch of pumpkins from this Halloween event. We can make some more. You know, like I gave her a little hookah smoker thing because, you know, she wanted to have like a little area around it. So it was pretty cool. Like, I mean, and you get a lot of people like that want to have stuff. Like, actually, for our guild that we're in, we had like I kind of made it an event. Like, I talked with the guild leader, and I owned the guild house for that guild. And I was moving locations instead of me decorating because I'm not the best at it. We made it a guild event, you know, like everyone chipped in with mats, recipes. They helped decorate and gave ideas. It was a really cool thing. It took about 3 weeks, but everyone enjoyed it. I thought, you know, like everyone really liked it.
Yeah, it turned out really nice. I did like that little extra touch you did with the pipe.
My shout out to all the, you know, those people.
Yep.
Yeah, because you see a lot of that kind of stuff in 76 too. Jess does a lot of that, like photos and all the setups and stuff in 76. There's people who kind of specifically do that.
Yeah, she's a member of the HOA, right?
It's got a new name now.
Oh, okay.
It's the United Wasteland Network.
Okay, yeah, it's been a while since I listened to you guys because I was busy at work.
Yeah, but that seems like a fun aspect of it where people can, you know, they do the meetups and setups and all that kind of stuff. And that seems pretty fun. It's definitely something that's, you know, not in a solo game for sure, but.
Right.
Yeah, at least it's a limited basis in solo games.
Yeah. Like you could, you know, make 5,000 cheese wheels and drop them down a mountain yourself. I mean, I think we all remember those days, but oh god, remember Oblivion, the Oblivion glitch where you could make stuff with scrolls or whatever it was.
The duplication glitch.
Yeah, yes. The duplication glitch. Yeah, well, I used to live in that cabin by the where the Gray Fox is, the waterfront there, that area, the cheap area. I would go in there and then do the scroll thing and the duplication thing with scrolls because they were, you know, super light, obviously. And I just remember it would be like this. God, the poor Xbox would be like melting down, blowing up these scrolls all throughout the entire cabin as it filled the entire cabin, you know, and it would just slow down to like 1 frame every 60 seconds, basically.
It would just be frame, bunch of scrolls. Frame,
yeah.
Scrolls, frame, bunch of scrolls.
That's pretty much how it went. Yeah.
Like Andrew and his hordes.
Oh my god. Yeah, when he was raising half the dead in Skyrim to walk around with them.
I honestly, I cannot believe he did not melt his PlayStation because that was on the PlayStation 3, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it had to be on the PS3. Yeah, because it was a while ago. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That thing had to be smoking. Oh my god. That had
it was a jet engine just screaming,
waiting to melt down. Yeah, I am interested to see what the new consoles bring to the older games. You know, you always get little updates to things.
Right.
So
yeah, because Oblivion was supposed to have been improved on the One X, and I should have done that. I'd probably still do that, but
yeah, well, especially now with Microsoft owning them, you know. And then
that should be nice.
I assume some of that stuff's going to end up on Game Pass at some point. So
yep,
I would think so.
You guys saying, well, like Oblivion, I was playing earlier today, and I'm currently going through the Thieves Guild with my character. And I've never played through the Thieves Guild in Oblivion, but I do remember you saying that there's, you have the mask of the what's his name?
Oh,
the Gray Fox.
Yeah.
Gray Fox, yeah. The Gray Cowl, was it? Or?
You have the Gray Cowl. So nobody recognizes you as a thief if you don't have the mask on. You put the mask on and everybody recognizes the thief. And it's really annoying because in my playthrough, the way I'm storing it is that nobody can ever find out that he's the Dragonborn, but he's just running through the Thieves Guild to get information and stuff. But nobody can ever find. So, you know, he's like I've got up to level 100 in all the magics and enchanting and in alchemy and everything. So and he's got the perk thing over in Solstheim, so he can move all his perks around and do whatever the hell he wants. So he has like created special armor. He's got invisibility spells that allow him to like go invisible 5 times while breaking it and do stuff. So he can never ever get caught stealing anything or anything like that. So he only does exactly what he's been told. But still, I walk around and people go like, "Oh, you're in the Thieves Guild." And I was like, "Bitch, I was invisible at the time when I was there. You didn't see me." And everybody keeps on calling me that. So I was really jealous of the Oblivion thing of you guys saying that if you're not wearing the mask, people don't know you're in the Thieves Guild. So,
well, it's like when you get rid of the werewolf. And people still say you smell like a wet dog.
Yeah.
That's just because I don't wash. Oh, you mean the character? All right. But yeah, what was I going to say? Yeah, because I'm working really, really super duper hard. Because I have like pickpocket boots, pickpocket rings, pickpocket gloves, and pickpocket potions. And everything like that, trying to working really hard to make sure that he never ever gets caught. Because if he gets caught, he's fucked. But the game doesn't know how hard I'm working to try and make sure that he never ever gets caught.
Oh my God.
By a card, like somebody known. Or I had to pickpocket Ulfrid Battleborn, and I've forgotten her name. I think it was Olava the Feeble or something like that. And I had to make sure that they never caught up because he's like, the Thane of Whiterun and all that sort of crap. But there's no way to differentiate that within the game. The game doesn't recognize that you can't be recognized.
That's a good point. Yeah, I haven't done a good pickpocket playthrough in a while.
Yeah. As soon as your like pickpocket skills or any of those skills go beyond a certain point, they just automatically recognize you as a sneak thief or whatever, which is interesting. And I mean, if you're really that great, then people shouldn't actually know. At least stuff like that.
Yeah, if you were really good, they wouldn't know. That's a good point.
I wasn't with the mods that I've got. I've only running like about 15 or 20, but I've got like 3 different teleports in the game. So I can teleport from the museum in Solitude to the Blades out at Karth River, to Solstheim, up to High Hrothgar, and was over by Riften. And then I've got a tool that you can get that can instantly teleport me to inside Breezehome. So I can be in Solitude and then just teleport inside Breezehome. And then I have the invisibility spell, which doesn't break when you do stuff, or it can break 5 times before it becomes visible again. And I go out into the city, so I arrive, like teleport into the house, put the invisibility spell, go out, and then do my pickpocket, and then go back inside the house, and then teleport back out again. Because I've got another one, which at the alteration tree, you've got home. I can't remember what it's called, Mythol or something like that. And it's basically like you've created a house of magicka, where every time if you're within 200 feet of it, any magic spell that you cast lasts like 120% longer and stuff like that. Nice. So now I have, with all the alchemy and the perks and the Mythol, I can cast Dragonhide, and it lasts 4 hours. And that's my 4 hours, not in game 4 hours. That means I play for 4 hours. Because he's a weenie, he's a glass cannon. I've put all his points into magicka, so he's level 70 nearly, and still only got 100 health and 100 stamina, and he's got 760 magicka.
Oh, nice!
So he now has the max perks in conjuration, so he now can summon 4 minions. So I can have 4 Dremora lords, 4 wolves. When I was doing the pest poison thing, with the guy with the crazy skeevers all down in the basement.
Yeah.
I summoned a pack of wolves. So I had 4 wolves running in and attacking all the skeevers.
Eating them up.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
That's the way to go.
Yep.
What was it? God, there was one I used. There was a mod I used where wolves would come help you. What was? Oh, it's that perk in Ordinator, right? Is there a perk in Ordinator where
there is one where skeevers come and help you?
Skeevers come to help you. That's what it is. The skeevers come help you. That's right. I was flipping it. I was thinking of the opposite direction. That's right. Is that what?
That's the necromancer side. I've never gone necromancer. I tried going necromancer, but I think it was like more in the base game. Mm-hmm. And unless you have perks that let you like store a dead body and bring it with you, it's really difficult.
That's true.
If you're out in a field or something like that, you have to wait until you kill something before you can raise something.
Yeah, it's hard to. It's not as easy to do. Yeah. Yeah, that might.
The struggles of being a necromancer.
Yeah. That's right. I just saw a necromancer mod when I was looking for different stuff. I guess it gives you like a home and probably where you can store bodies and stuff. I would assume. That would be my guess.
You could go necromancer really well with Dawn Guard, because once you get into what's that place? The Soul Cairn. Once you get there, you've got those spells where you can summon the Wrath Man, the Bone Man, and the Mist Man. So you can still go Necromancer there. But I did play a Necromancer in ESO as well, and the only thing I enjoyed it was playing a tank Necromancer. That was pretty decent.
The Necromancer in ESO is a little different from your traditional Necromancers.
Yeah, it's kind of like summoning, it's like summoning a minion, but you don't raise a dead body that's near you. But you do have that ultimate that lets you like raise a player, I think.
Like you raise like 2 or 3. It's a lifesaver in certain content. I play mostly PvP when I go back into it, like running around just Cyrodiil, not Imperial City or the Battlegrounds. I don't like those because I don't like playing with other people. I like killing other people. I just don't like playing with them.
Yes, I'm with you, Carl.
But yeah, I noticed when the Necromancer came out and I started playing PvP, and some bastard Necromancer would be upstairs in the keep and raise like 3 guys who were lying on the flag, and I was like, what? And I'm dead lying up. Is there a Necromancer's going to raise me?
Yeah, they're ridiculously overpowered, especially when they first came out. They were pretty rough, and like I said, it's not. I did like what they did as far as an online game. Like if you have army, like if you have a Necromancer with an army, each one having a different army, like imagine the lag that you're gonna get on the servers.
Yeah, I still prefer my Medikit DKs. But they nerfed my wings. I used to love like fighting archers with the wings, and you just bouncing back and kill the archers with their own ultimate. It was awesome.
Yeah, that's Drew's favorite class also. He loves his Magicka DK. I
love them all, man. I mean, I've got like 18 characters. I've made probably closer to 30. I've had to delete them. Like, I'm one of those. I'm sick. Okay, I need help.
It's like you're addicted to a game.
Weird. Who would know anything about that around here?
Yeah, go figure.
Can't relate. Right? Can't relate.
I remember back in the Diablo 2 days, like I had like 3 or 4 different accounts, oh, what's wrong with me?
As we come up on the 9th anniversary of Skyrim in a couple days.
That's right, yeah.
11/11/11.
And you heard where we're going for ESO next, right? One of your favorite zones.
Oh, that's right. Was it Markarth?
Markarth and the Reach.
Yeah.
When does that release?
Monday.
Oh,
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
Monday
it's
for
around the corner.
Xbox. Yep. Because they wanted to make it the day before the Series X came out,
Oh,
or
okay.
basically the new consoles.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't do a Series X. I got a PS5 coming, but not a Series X.
Yeah, my wife basically was in a virtual line for about 30, 40 minutes just to get me mine.
They were a mess. Yeah, that whole thing was it. I figured
it seems like the PS5 one was much better organized. Just boom, here you go.
I think so.
Yeah, I'm on that big income, so patience for me. Second wave maybe.
Yeah.
I had this. I've got to wait as well. I was here on my day off and got the tweet from my local store that they had more pre-orders in, and I wasn't at work that day. I was like, fine, nice. So I jumped on the train, make the half an hour journey out there, got there, and they're all sold out of pre-orders. But literally took me 30 minutes to get there. And by the time that's when I read the tweet, and then by the time I got there, they were already sold out.
Already gone. Jeez.
And she was like, "Oh, we can get you the small one." Fuck the small one, love. Screw this shit. I'm getting this Sunday and going.
Go big or go home.
Oh my god.
Well, you're going to have one to play because you know what else is coming out on Tuesday is Valhalla. So
yes, yeah.
Oh, is that coming out?
Yep.
Shoot, that might actually be worth getting.
Oh yeah, I think it's going to be fun.
I'm interested because since I'm a big Assassin's Creed person, but
I might have to. I'm going to have to play all the other ones first, though. I'll be with you.
I think it was Unity, the one when they first introduced multiplayer on certain quests. And it just left a bad taste in my mouth, and I haven't picked it back up since.
The last two I liked a lot.
Yeah,
I didn't like the first one.
The first one was cranky and janky and
it was good but repetitive. I like the idea of it. I mean, it looks beautiful to me, but back for the day anyways, back in the day, but they were very repetitive back then.
They've done an amazing job rebooting the series with Odyssey
for sure
and Origins.
Yeah. Yeah, those are such huge areas too.
Yeah,
to explore and everything. They're pretty amazing. Games. Yeah. I know. I don't think I've ever done like the DLC in any of those though. I know there's always added stuff, but it feels like that's not as big. Like the DLCs for that game don't feel like something I have to do.
All the Assassin's Creeds are exclusively third person, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
that's why I haven't played any of them.
Yeah, I get used to it. I agree with you, Ray. I prefer first person, but you get used to it. Like it did with Witcher.
I didn't play the other series either.
I played Witcher and I played what's the one, Greedfall that came out, and that was all third person.
I want to play Greedfall.
It was okay, but for me personally, it's got zero replayability. There's like loads of different ways you can play it, as in like how to build your character. Like, I went with mage because, that's what I go with, but you can play like a warrior or you can play like an archer. I think it's an archer and then you can play with like guns and stuff. And then you can do a mixture of like all different types of things. But it's just a story. The story just seems like, yes, you can go different ways with it, but the story's still going to be the same.
Yeah.
There's still going to be like a main bad guy throughout the story. You pretty much know who's going to be the bad guy at the end of the story, halfway through the story. And there's different routes you can take, but you can either be, which the first playthrough, I think, which everybody will go through, is like a kind of neutral. You're in the middle of the road, and then you can sway left or sway right. And I don't see any need to do any of those.
What? Oops! I dropped my mic for a second. I bumped it away and what is going on? First, I'm unplugging PCs and then I'm knocking mics around. So
whole Pat ruined his pretty.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, plugged the wrong thing.
He plugged his USB into his HDMI or something, or his HDMI into his USB,
or was it
screen blew up or something.
I think it was the power into the.
I think he was responding to Michael's.
Oh
That's
yeah,
what I thought.
yeah.
Okay, so he was joking. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
God, I hope so. Yeah, I went to I unplugged an HDMI cable and moved the PC enough where the power cable came out, and I was like, oh, slow.
I mean, they are, manufacturers are savvy enough not to make the plugs
Similar.
fit in each other's space.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I have to cut this one
too much credit, Ray.
Yeah, exactly. This one's going to be a little.
In the manufacturing
Never
process.
said it was impossible.
A little shorter episode this week because I'm actually going to eat dinner out somewhere, which is weird. But we're all going to be, I guess, hopping on next week for the charity event, Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. Got some random Skyrim talk coming up. You guys have a 10 AD plan? Randomly?
We do. We having like what's it, availability issues with and also sort of like DM issues as well. So we're probably going to do something where we can not end it, but like put a big enough pause in it so everything get back settled again on the planet, really.
Yeah.
I was going to say, like, here, but it's pretty freaking everywhere. You're going to wait for it to settle down, and it's going to be a while. But we might do something new and something different.
Cool.
My brain isn't working exactly as I want it to lately, so I'll once I figure my shit out, and I'll speak to the guys, and then we can sort everything else out.
Awesome. Yeah, there's the 10 Skyrim 10 AD. I think it might just be 10 AD is the feed. I forget, but that's on iTunes and all that stuff. I think episode 30 just came out, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, something like that. So it'll pop up.
Yeah. So there's that whole separate feed, plus the ones that are released here as well. They're same, but I think that one's actually ahead of where we are now, oddly enough. And Juan and Drew, good luck.
Yeah, when are you going to start your podcast?
Yeah.
We're still working on it. I've had some family issues and some personal issues type stuff come up. So, I've just been, discussing it and things like that, planning and trying to find out exactly what we want to do. It's pretty simple. So I'm hoping to get it started soon, to be honest.
Nice.
Look, if there's anything that we have proven here is that anybody can do it.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. It's like I said, it's needed, and I've thought about it for a long time, and I was telling Mauro this yesterday, I was just talking with some people that I was teaching, and they're like, man, every time I'm talking and I hear you start talking, I just kind of shut up so I can learn something because I know I'm going to. I'm like, oh well, I appreciate the compliment. But half the time I'm just talking out of my butt, you know what I mean? Like, I don't, because I'm one of those, I never shut up once I get going. So
That's good for podcasting too, by the way.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I'm long-winded.
It is helpful. It is helpful in the game.
I always tell people,
I feel attacked.
If you tell me, if I'm just talking, and just tell me to shut up because I won't stop.
Oh man.
Ray doesn't know anything about that.
Oh God, on his 5-hour podcast? Definitely not. Yeah.
And next week, the latest update on No Man's Sky comes out.
Oh, really? Oh, is that when that drops?
Yeah, and so that's gonna change everything for them too. It's gonna be interesting to see because everything's going completely generated.
Oh.
Now most stuff is, but not everything is. So now everything is going to be. So
everything's going to be generated.
Interesting to see.
That's interesting.
So it's going to be bespoke instead of procedurally generated?
No, it'll still be procedurally. Everything will be procedure. Now there's some parts of the world that are not.
I see. Okay.
So all that'll change, and so we'll be looking forward to seeing how that changes. I made some videos, some instructional videos, for people getting started, and then 2 days later they changed it.
Oh, that's right.
And,
yeah.
So then I made another set of videos, based on the new changes.
And now it's changing.
And so we'll see if they completely blow that out
Good luck
of the
with
water too. So we'll pick that up. Yeah. So that's another thing we're looking at doing a podcast on. So
cool.
Yeah.
Well, we can always talk about it next week too. Well, I'm sure there's time in the schedule for some No Man's Sky.
We got like a couple 3 hours for each. Block there. Yeah.
Yep. So join us next week. It's youtube.com/ASAPodcasting. Live events already set up. Noon to midnight Eastern Standard Time. Raising money for Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. We're technically at $365 already. So we've got a nice little start going. So, and the team page, it'll show up as like a walk for cystic fibrosis. Obviously, we're not walking for 12 hours around the computer screens. It's just a little easier to set up a team that way as a fundraising arm. That's all. So, although technically some of us will be running for donations at some point, maybe for ridiculously long periods of time. But
and you can count on
a wheelchair count.
Yeah. So we're hoping we have we're hoping
everybody who hates to listen to me talk, they get a 2-hour break during the Dames Who Game podcast.
Oh man,
I love listening to the Dames.
I do.
They have great content.
Such a good show.
Oh, it's awesome. Yeah, they have such a different perspective, and it's really great and refreshing to listen to them.
Yeah, that's for sure. So, they'll be on right after 10 AD. I think their time's a little more set because they're going across like 85,000 time zones at once.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're breaking the time continuum.
Yeah, I mean they're like hitting as many as they can. So yeah,
just don't read the scroll when they're doing the show, or you'll get sent back to when Alden first attacked.
Yeah, exactly. Don't go anywhere near the time wound. That's for sure.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.